Listen, if you ask me, some of these young guys, rappers that keep going in and out of jail and prison, I be thinking they have somebody in there. I be thinking when they went in the last time they fostered a relationship, some romantic relationship, left their boo behind bars, and now they're going back to be with them. Cause I can't, I could see you getting in trouble and you getting locked up, and then you're like, listen, this is for the birds. I'm never coming back here. And you get out and you change your life. And your music is hitting, you're doing shows, you're collecting money, you're able to earn more money than an average American citizen, which means you have enough financially to be able to make some changes in your life. But yet still, you keep repeating the same thing. Welcome back to Brainflotv. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into this one. Quando Rando hit with numerous drug charges and is now facing up to 20 years behind bars. Some of this might have changed by the time you're hearing this, because this one was published from December 12th of 2023. Today is December 14th, but neither here nor there. Now, according to hotnewhiphop.com, despite already being in a whole lot of trouble, things just got even more severe for Quando Rando. Over the weekend, Quando was arrested in Savannah, Georgia, and he faces drug charges from the federal level. Now, after appearing in a district court earlier, he's been indicted on 14 charges that could ultimately see him doing time for about 20 years. I don't know why they keep saying jail. I don't think you're going to do 20 years in jail. I think you're going to do some time in jail until you go to court and you're sentenced. And if you do get sentenced, you'll be transferred to a prison, right? Jail is for short stay and prison is for a long stay. That's how I understand the system to be. Listen, I'm not a jail expert or a prison expert. I've never been in either of them, and I don't want any of those stripes. They can keep them. I'm just saying. So here's Quando Rando caught up again. You know, you would think after the King Von situation, he would really lay low and just focus on music. You would think after his homie got popped out in LA and died pretty much in his arms, and he ran out of that SUV screaming his head off and then ran back to the other side of the coast and made it public that he was through with this gang life stuff and he's not doing any of that street stuff anymore. You would think he would actually hold himself accountable and true to that, right? But I guess the allure of that life keeps calling and he just cannot get out. The federal indictment was unsealed earlier this week, revealing exactly what troubles Quando Rando is facing. That indictment accuses Quando Rando, alongside other people, of conspiracy to possess and distribute various types of narcotics. Numerous illicit substances are included in the indictment, including some marijuana, a bit of cocaine, some fentanyl, some methamphetamine. Yo, it's crazy. Sidebar for a second. One time, right, back in the day, and I know it sounds old to say back in the day, but back in the day, hip hop had drugs in it all along. But you had young men and women coming from impoverished conditions, inner cities, wherever, even the rurals, but they were selling drugs and using that money to fund a career so they could one day stand on their career alone and leave that drug stuff behind. They weren't using it. Fast forward to today, you have people like Quando Rando and a bunch of other artists who are mostly not only moving this stuff around according to law enforcement, like marijuana, cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamine, they are actually taking these drugs. And then a lot of them are also putting this in their lyrics of their songs, like glorifying being on cocaine, hitting a bit of fentanyl, amped up on meth, mixed with my marijuana. Like, it's crazy how they went from selling it to get out of a situation to using it and glorifying the use of it, being a junkie. A lot of these young rappers actually need rehab more than anything else. So the accusations date all the way back to 2021 when it first accuses Quando Rando of participating in a conspiracy. He is now facing a total of 14 charges from the incidents, including possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, meaning you are a convict or you have a record. You should not be in possession of a gun. Quando Rando is still currently being held in police custody in a federal facility. Sucks. In a federal facility. So here he is, right? Knowing damn well you're not supposed to have a gun on you, but you got one anyways. I guess in Quando Rando's case, he's saying, listen, I prefer for the police to catch me with one, or the feds, or the boys, or whoever you want to call them people. I prefer for them to catch me with one than for my ops to catch me, and I don't have one on me to shoot back. Remember, I personally think that Quando Rando is a marked man. After what happened to King Von, there are a lot of people out there who we call hitters that want their lick back, and they won't settle until Quando Rando and Lil Tim get laid down. So those guys know that they're marked, and even if my theory is wrong, they probably walk around paranoid thinking that that is exactly what's about to happen to them. So they want to be prepared at all times. That's the only reason I could think for them to always be held repeatedly with a firearm. A lot of people are going to say, but come on, man, you're making a lot of money now, right? You're famous now. Why don't you just pay armed security guards? Well, check it. Fame doesn't normally or doesn't always mean that there's a lot of money on the table. There's a lot of famous broke people out there, and you might think they're able to afford 24-hour security, and they're not, right? So that could be another reason too why, they're their best own security. They carry their own weapons. Now, with that said, I can't explain why they keep getting caught with drugs. The amount of drugs, marijuana, coke, fentanyl, methamphetamine, to where the feds would think you're trafficking. It goes like this. The rap videos you see, the cars are rented, the houses or Airbnbs or rented, or if they are purchased, they belong to the record company that signed these individuals. A lot of these guys don't own all these flashy things you see them with. A lot of what they have is for show, right? And again, the fame does not necessarily mean that they have a hefty net worth of money. So a lot of them still do things on the side. They're associated with street people. So if they get a $10,000 check advance, $50,000 advance check from the record company, they go give 20,000 of that to their ninjas in the street and say, flip this money and bring me back my profits. I'm going to let you hold 10 right now, but by the end of the year, you owe me 20, right? And so on and so forth. So they dibble and dabble in the street life just the same. And for that reason, they can't get out. Now, this is far from the only legal trouble that Quando Rando has dealt with this year. Just last month, a Georgia judge had to weigh whether or not to ban Quando Rando from his own hometown. That came in from an arrest all the way back in June that saw Quando Rando facing even more drug charges. Thankfully for him, he ultimately was not banned from his own hometown, although he was eventually arrested by the FBI while in the same hometown that the judge should have banned his ass from. The very next month after that, Quando Rando was involved in a high-speed car chase, and he was arrested after he crashed a vehicle, as observations were made that he could be under the influence of something. He was even administered Narcan. Narcan is like what you give people who OD'd. they dying from an overdose. They gave him Narcan after he displayed first symptoms of a potential overdose. A judge ultimately granted him his release again, but only under the conditions that he did not drive or that he did not use drugs while he was out. What do you think of these new charges Quando Rando is facing? 20 years in prison? That's a lot of time. If you ask me, honestly, I can't understand why they keep letting these people go. Quando Rando, Crip Mac. Look at their record. Look at the stuff that they've been doing. Look at how many times they've been held or caught. What world does that happen in? Because out here where I'm at, I see people get caught once and they're up the road doing 5 years. These guys get caught every couple of months. Every other month, January, March, June, August, October, December, and they're still out. I don't know. There might be something going on behind that as well. Are they letting them out so they can self-destruct? Or are they working possibly with the feds behind the scenes, giving information, working as what the streets call snitches while pretending to be gangster? I don't know. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's Brainflotv. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.